So last night was the Orangeville Demolition Derby, and I brought Cannibal. It did pretty good, but Thrill Show's rules, that's the company that runs Orangeville this year, Thrill Show's rules are all over the place. This right here is not as intense of a build as some of the Thrill Show cars I've seen over the years, but Thrill Show's got one set of rules, and they allow cars like this to go against cars that are basically bone stock. I mean, like no cage, factory gas tank. So it's kind of weird when you show up to a show and some cars are bone stock and some cars are like this with the loaded bumpers, and they all run together. So I think that they're going to be changing that next year. But overall, it was a pretty good derby. Not a whole lot of mini cars showed up, but I kind of just tried to play it safe the first little half. I kind of put myself in a bad situation there near the beginning. I got a good driver door and front axle shot, but you know what? I kept going and was able to pull out the win. The car overall is in pretty good shape. The back end, the passenger frame does what every Camry passenger frame does. It bends where I notch it and it comes up, and then it goes down where I put my threaded rod. But this side is doing something that I am not really that used to. The frame has started bending at my threaded rod and coming up on a 45-degree angle. I'm a little nervous about this because I think this is going to jack this driver's side frame rail so high that I'm not going to be able to see out of the back of this car. But maybe I can try to heat that up, weaken it a bit, and get it to bend where I want it to bend. I don't know. But I don't know. Going pretty good. Got a couple good rear tire shots, but they never lost air. These tires are just air filled. There's no tubes, no doubles, no nothing. So I'm pretty happy that that's holding air still. You can see right into the inner bead. But here's what I mean by that driver door shot at the beginning. But you know what? It happens. They were going probably for tire and the bumper just went that far. So the one thing I do have to say here is the front end of this car is way too high. When I was hitting people, I was clearing tires. So let me go get a measuring tape and show you what I mean. So here's what I mean. My front tires are 22.5 inches tall. The front height of my bumper, let's get this tape all set up, is about 22 inches tall. I think that I'm clearing people's tires because realistically this down here does nothing. It's just this right here. Let me measure that just to make sure. Yeah, I'm about 20 inches to there, so I think I'm actually missing people's tires. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this car down in the front end by about an inch or two and try to get it so it hits people's tires a little bit better than what it's hitting. I think I'm just going right over top of their tires and hitting a lot of towers. I don't know, but like I said, the seams in the front of this car are not doing that good. They split all the way back to here and in front of the tower. So I don't know. The inside of the car held up pretty good. Cage really didn't move. Battery didn't really move. The thing that I did notice on this gray area shifter was it was changing from reverse to drive on its own whenever I was hitting people, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm going to try to see if I can adjust some of the tension inside this to try to stop it from moving so much, because I found that to be a little bit hard on the axles. This is my first time running the gray area shifter, so I'm just kind of playing with it as of right now. Just got to fine tune it a little bit more than what she is. Cage held together great. No complaints about the cage. I took a couple good shots and it's, look at that, it's right into the cage hard there. But nothing has really moved that much on the car. All the rear seams are good on the rear tires, both sides. Even the speaker deck still stayed in the car, which I'm really happy about. But it did come in, though that used to be 2 inches apart right there. She's right in hard now. But I don't know. Trunk's doing something that I didn't really intend it to do. This car actually held together really well. For it to go into the next Demolition Derby, I'm going to do a lot of trimming around this fender. It looks like the whole floor ripped away from the actual rear quarter panels. So I need to kind of fix that up a bit. And then the next thing I got to do is, like I said, I got to lower this thing in the front. So I'm going to be taking these springs out of these struts and putting different springs into them. And what else? I think I lost my radiator. As you can see, the whole rad support got pushed into the motor. So we're going to be taking a look to see how this thing's doing for coolant and stuff like that as well. Because I know it's, well, not coolant, but water. I think it doesn't have any in it, so we'll check that out. Overall, the car did pretty good last night. I think it's got one more run in it. Depends. I don't know. As long as this thing runs and drives, I'll probably keep trying to do it, but I think I'm going to lose my steering pretty quickly with that front end starting to blow the seams apart. But realistically, the hood didn't move, the fenders didn't really move. It was a pretty tough car, but I wasn't really against other mod cars, so if you bring a mod car to a stock show, of course it's going to be tough. I don't know. She'll be fixed up and ready to run here probably in another 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow.